Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. What are you looking at?
I'm not sure. I'm just really not sure at this point. Two days at a train show make you feel that way.
Well, that's a good thing.
It is.
It's good to spend 2 days at a train show.
Yeah, especially when you're set up running G-gauge trains. Right, everybody?
I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, it's a good time. Okay, so we got a pretty good show for everybody tonight. I think we got a guest everybody's going to like. You may not like the host, though.
This guy.
This guy. And I don't know. Kyle's saying something about he's been here for like 10 minutes.
Oh, he hasn't been here for 10 minutes. Let's scroll back. We could go back to the videotape.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know about bean footage, but we do have our standard spot for our wonderful sponsor, Split Jaw. We'll roll that, and we'll be right back to keep things moving along.
6:58, he commented.
6:58.
So he was here for like 2 minutes.
All right, you got caught, Kyle.
The following episode of Large Scale Live is brought to you by Split Jaw, makers of quality metal products for the G-scale modeling world. For rail clamps, expansion joints, bridges, and more, Split Jaw Products has you covered. For more information, visit their website at www.railclamp.com.
Sorry, my finger slipped on that. I wasn't sure if you were going to say anything else or not.
That's all right.
Got to be up for what's quark?
I don't know. That's what I asked.
Is that like Mork from Ork?
I said, what's quark?
So
what do we got?
What do we got?
Any news? I got a notification that MrPictovid went live.
Oh, yeah, that's good to know. I don't have a whole lot of news that I can put out there. Let's see. Well, you have some new products you want to show real quick, right?
Sure.
So you do that while I do what I should have done already.
Okay. So what I have coming out now is we have weed cutter plows.
Ooh, wrong person.
There you go. So you got weed cutter plows. These are for I have different models. Obviously, they're not all the same, but GP38-2, SD40-2, SD45, and GP40. So they all have different mounting, so they screw on just like the other plows. I've been asked for the larger plow for the GP38. So you can see it's got a larger cutout window here for the hoses to stick through.
Oh, nice.
Another thing that I've been asked for a while, so finally got around to doing it, is the little air hoses.
Oh.
Or brake hose, I should say, I think this is on the Dash 9 and GP40 and the SD45.
Now, the way the handle's turned, does that mean the air is on or off?
On.
Interesting.
That's the way it was modeled. That's the way it was.
It's something I really never thought of before.
If you want, I can make one for you with the air off, if you like.
I want one that has a movable handle on it so I can change it.
Yep, because you'll do that a lot. And then last but not least is the front for the RS3. the folded little ramp there. I calmed down the diamond plate so it doesn't look as bulky as the original.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a cheese grater.
Yeah, so I calmed it down a little bit, made it a little smaller so it looks a little more prototypical. But that snaps right in where the original snapped in, and you get your little ramp and everything too. So those will be on the website shortly.
Nice.
Oh, here's one on a pilot of there's the SD45 GP41.
And that pushes in or it screws on?
Screws on like the other ones I do.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't like just to push on because, then glue comes out. I kind of like a better fastener, more secure fastening, a little more fascinating.
Fascinating fasteners.
Yes.
That could be a whole episode.
Yeah, I always hated like the USA, like they popped out of the hole, then you're gluing them in, and the little stud broke off, then you're like the whole front end's all covered in glue, and not a big fan.
Okay. Anything else that you have, or is that it?
That is it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on, and I will have shortly the whole pilot for the MTH.
Well, that's going to be a project. That's all one piece, isn't it?
That is all one piece. I mean, these are details. These little pieces up here in the hoses, those are all detail pieces, but the whole thing is one piece. So I will have those available for purchase. I've had a few people tell me that, since it's all one piece, you drop it, it breaks, and then that's the end of it. So I'll have those available soon. I'm printing the prototype right now to see if I have to make any changes.
Just a quick curiosity, how long do you think it's going to take to print one of those?
16 hours, I think it said. Hold on, I actually have it right here. The slicer.
Is that resin or FDM?
That's resin. 14 hours and 44 minutes of printing.
Wow.
Just for one of those. Yeah, you can't get, there's so many details and little rivets, and there's no way to get that printed in FDM and make it look half as good. It would be a pain in the butt to try and sand. And
it's like Mr. Marty Kozad has a question for you.
What's that? How about light bars for locos that are RC in real life? I have the blinking light. What do you call that? The little orange light, safety light. I have those, Marty, and then you could put whatever LED you want in them. Oh, it fits a 3 millimeter LED, and you could buy as many as you want and put them on a bar. But I don't have them on a bar.
You don't have them. Yeah, I see some. Let's see. He followed up there. I'm not sure what OPPD is.
Yep, I don't know either.
All right. Or how about a Shobe light?
A Shobe. That's Chauvet, maybe? Is that French?
Yep, Chauvet. Ah.
Well, I have the light. You got to put whatever you want in it to make it strobe or flicker or whatever you want there. I can show it if you want me to pull it up.
Muted myself. Yeah, if it's going to take a minute to pull up, we can talk about some stuff coming up here.
Sure.
As always, over on the old website at largescaletrains.com, if you got some event coming up that is, majority large scale, or say your club's going to be setting up their G-gauge layout somewhere to view, the chair keeps rolling away on me, head on over to the website and we got an event submission form there. You can turn it in. I don't have anything beyond what I've had the past couple of shows at the moment. I'm sure more things will be coming up, but of course, we have our Great Lakes Large Scale Train Expo and Midwest Garden Railroad Gathering that is coming up May 13th through the 17th. 13th through the 17th is for the larger gathering experience, as we'll call it. And the 15th and 16th is just the days for the expo if you're just coming for that to shop. And of course,
Or
next
coming
year,
to the modeling contest, or coming to pick up your show car or your show shirt, or
yeah.
we're also signing autographs.
Oh, wait, can I sign your head?
Sure.
And actually, this thing's going to autoplay on me. I know it is. Let's see. Right, go to the website here.
I know. I keep asking him for it, Kyle. You could take a lumpy potato to water, but you can't make him drink. That's nice white paper. Are you going somewhere with this, or there we go?
Yeah, I am. So just a yeah. If you go to the if you go to our Great Lakes Train Expo website, you can of course sign up for the newsletter for updates. But I did want to give an update on vendors and exhibitors. You can go there and see the full list of everybody. We did recently add B&B Hobby Supplies on. They have a full selection of hobby tools. If you can't find it at B&B, they probably don't have it, or they can get it for you. Or not have it, they probably don't make it, I should say, because they've got just about everything. So we added B&B Hobby Supplies on. And of course, our list of everyone that's been added already. I'm sure you see a lot of people you know there. And then as far as, let's see, clubs, we added the Tulsa Garden Railroad Club on. So in all, if we want to talk about stuff that'll be operating, AccuTile have operating 7.5-inch gauge set up for people to check out. The Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railway will have an operating G gauge layout set up. Let's scroll down. Big Train Operators Club will have an operating layout in G gauge. Columbus Garden Railway will have an operating layout as well in G. Lakeshore Garden Railway Club. The Northern Ohio Garden Railway Society will have operating G gauge running live steam. The Susquehanna Valley Garden Railway Society will be back to set up their fully landscaped with live plants garden railroad in the lobby. That's always a big hit. And of course, the Tulsa Garden Railroad Club we just added will be setting up a layout as well. And I believe we should have someone registering, I believe, that's bringing a traveling layout that is built into a trailer, or a traveling trailer, I should say. And I expect to see some more people registering soon. So, oh, yeah. Hey, and speaking of which, how did I miss Craig? Where are we at on here?
You passed right over Craig. See that, Craig?
For crying out loud. Where's Craig at on this list? Do
you not even have him on the list?
Oh, man, that's going to be really bad if I didn't put him on the list. I don't know how the heck I would have missed him. Tulsa. Wow, I'm going to owe Craig a big apology if I didn't put him on here. So, John. Well, okay. Apparently, I don't on the list here somewhere. Well, Craig, I'll have to take you out to dinner when you're here. So, Mr. Craig Weaver will be there. If you've gone to the shows when it used to be in York, PA, he'll have his large circus theme layout set up. And we are super happy to have him and super apologetic that I didn't put him on the list. Not quite sure how that happened. I think it's lack of sleep and everything else, but I'll have that updated right after I get done with the show tonight, Craig. Sorry about that. So
when are you going to have my modeling contest listed?
Yeah,
I missed that one.
I got to do that too. So back onto our calendar, of course, I was going to say is 2027 will be the NGRC. That'll be May 31st to June 5th in 2027 in Nashville, Tennessee. And I think that's going to be a pretty good convention. So I don't have any other upcoming events that
I have the light pulled up if you want to.
You have the what pulled up? Oh,
The
okay.
light.
All right, we'll go back to Nico's beacon.
And we're not talking about my skull. So that's the light. And then you could just see it on top of a cab there.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why. Oop. What happened? There we go.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can put it on the side of a cab. So, did it switch? Or didn't switch?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was trying to show the different pictures on the bottom, but it didn't show.
Oh, when you
There you go.
did it open in a new tab or something?
Yeah, there you go. That's on top of the cab. That way, and then there was another picture. Sorry. There you go. There's, you put one on each side or something. I don't know. Whatever makes you happy.
Sweet. Oh, yeah, good Lord. Hey, why is that not on my calendar?
What?
Yeah, geez. I'm just dropping a ball everywhere. Yeah, the big train operator convention is going to be July 19th to the 24th.
I don't know why we're friends with you.
I don't know why anybody's friends with me. Yeah, my one friend asks constantly, "Why am I friends with you?"
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the big train operators convention will be July 19th to the 24th this year, 2026, in the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Bear, Pennsylvania location. I believe some of the things included on that is going to be visiting Steamtown, several excursion railways around there. Planning on being there. It's always a good time at the BTO convention. And oh yeah, absolutely, Kyle. I definitely plan to visit when I'm up that way.
And we're gonna mount one of these beacon lights to Larry's Speedo.
Oh, good Lord. I was hoping this would be a nightmare-free night.
Never.
When I wake up screaming tonight. All right. So I don't believe we got anything else to announce at this point, do we?
Nope. Show cars, like I said, we're about a third of the way through total sales. And probably about halfway through what I put up on the website. We should have a sample. Hopefully, it was supposed to be here by the end of February, but I'm assuming with Chinese New Year, it should be here in the beginning of March.
Oh, awesome. Can't wait to see that.
I can't wait to see it either.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll hear from our sponsor, Me Loves Trains, real quick, and then we'll be back with our guest, which I'm sure everybody is ready to see. Ooh, and we're back. And without further ado, let's meet our guest, Mr. Chris Murray.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi,
Chris. Thanks for coming on the show.
Of course.
Being subject to our craziness, uncanniness, whatever it may be. I'm just seeing
Glad to be
a lot.
here.
I'm just seeing a lot going on behind you.
Oh yeah, this is my workshop, man cave, whatever you want to call it. Got my 3D printers here, paint booth, workbench over there, and then of course my ceiling layout goes through my basement, so you'll be seeing the train go through every so often.
There we go. Hey,
I think it's coming. Don't wait too long.
We're all waiting. We're all staring at this.
where's it at? Where's it at?
It takes a little bit to go through.
This guy's full of it. There's no train there.
Ah, there it is.
What's that running up there?
That is a Chessie GP30, one of my printed hoppers, a few Aristo cars, one of my first G-scale cars, the one holding the wine bottle. That's one of the wine bottles left over from our wedding. So, yeah, hasn't derailed yet. Still in one piece.
Nice.
Yeah. When I did the ceiling layout, I was very nervous about trains coming off, as one would. And I had a whole plan to do like fishing line all around and everything, like a really thin black fishing line that's almost invisible. But I never got around to doing that, and there hasn't been a derailment since. And I just kind of, the track's in decent shape, so I don't know. Fingers crossed for the future.
The only time, so I built one for my son in his bedroom, and the only time we ever had a derailment was when one of the couplers uncoupled and the train came around and, plowed into the back of the car that was sitting on the track.
Oh, geez.
That was the only time we ever had a train come off of the track. And, but I had over his bed just in case I put railings on it, right. Just in critical areas so nobody would get hurt. Like if it did come off, it would come off somewhere else, not over his bed or something.
Right. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, no, it's not double track. It's just I have two passing sidings, one here and one in another room, so I can switch out between trains without taking them on and off the track all the time. So that means I've got 4 switches, and those are the ones that I pay attention to. So if I hear any weird noises coming from a switch, that's when I immediately jump over there and just make sure. Sometimes a car has a wheel that's not engaged or something, I have KD couplers, so sometimes there's a coupler brake hose hanging down and it's catching on the frog or something. Nope, doesn't go outside. I've thought about it. My house is surrounded by trees. It's just not gonna.
There's still time.
Yeah. Yeah, never say never, right?
Never say never.
No, it just goes to 3 base. You know what? I got a video somewhere of a POV. If anyone wanted to see it later,
Yeah.
probably pull it up.
Yeah, if you find it, let us know.
Yeah.
So what got you started in G scale?
Well, so growing up, we've kind of went into all scales except HO pretty much. Back when I was a little kid, we got my dad got my grandfather an aristo-craft G scale set. It was just Pennsylvania 040, a couple cars like the Sierra cars, and that's all we had for the longest time. After my grandpa passed, we took it over and we'd set it up for Christmas once in a while. I always wanted to do a ceiling layout with G scale, but obviously it takes up more space than what we were working with. Me and my dad did an O scale layout in his basement, and when I was a kid, I had an N scale layout that was under my bed. We actually had like a piece of plywood on wheels, and I'd roll it out from under my bed. And so yeah, I always wanted to do G scale. And when me and my wife got married, got our house, I'm like, I'm putting one in the basement here. It's gonna happen. So probably 6 years after we got the house, we wanted to do the layout here. And actually, we were doing an addition on the house with an additional basement as well. And while we were building, I asked the builder, hey, can you knock a couple holes in the foundation wall? Because that's where I want to put the train through. And he looked at me like crazy. He was like, okay. So, yeah, we had the holes in the wall before I even had the track set up. And yeah, just went from there. I did a hanger system with threaded rod and a couple 3D printed brackets. So the brackets they go from the, should I point to it? They go from the threaded rod to the plywood. I use 3/4 inch plywood as the base. There's like 2 nuts that kind of sandwich it, so I can adjust the height there, as well as there we go. Oh no, lost. There it is. Up here is another 3D printed bracket that I can screw into into the joist here, and it has a nut up there as well that I can spin to get the height correct. But, yeah, for the most part, it's hanging. There's a couple spots where it actually brackets off the wall like a shelf.
There's a question there for you if you ever had chasing its tail, I guess they're asking.
Oh my goodness, I do not have enough cars yet.
We can fix that problem.
Oh yeah. Let me.
You come to the show, there'll be plenty of cars for you to buy.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that
We can
video.
start a GoFundMe, get Chris more cars, right?
And I think, is this your sister?
Oh yeah. Hey Tana. Yeah, she heard I was doing the podcast. Or podcast, right? Do you call it a podcast or show? I wasn't really sure.
It's a showcast.
It's a show.
Showcast.
I always refer to it as a love stream. Yeah, it is a love stream. Live stream. Love streams are a completely different thing. Different show.
Oh, here it is. Okay. Here I can share it.
Sure.
Okay, so this was a few years back. I've made some changes since then, but this was not long after I first got it set up. So there's the hole in the wall that I had the builder knock out.
That wall had to go.
Yep.
I like they even have carpet on top of it.
Yes.
That's what I was just looking.
So,
I'm like, did he ballast that?
yeah, from the get-go, one of the things I hated about seeing other ceiling layouts on wood is that droning noise you get. So I just got some cheap carpet from Home Depot. This is like the outdoor rug kind of carpet, and just got a roll or two of that, and then just kind of cut it to fit, and it works great to insulate that noise.
It's a good tip.
That's an RV backup camera that I have set up right there. That's so if I'm in this room, I got a little monitor up there. I can actually see when a train is, if I'm going to park it on that siding. Because I'm just running DC here, so I only have one point of control. So there's just a way that I could get over there and without having to walk over there and see where it's at before I shut down the track. Right. And this is our, going into my wife's room. This is our wine room, speakeasy. All the curves here are 8-foot mix of Aristo and LGB. Didn't want to go any less than that. I was originally planning 4-foot diameter, and I'm glad I decided against that because I would be very limited in what I could run around here.
You mean the LGB like 1600, 16,000? That's what you're
Yes,
doing?
yeah, or the R3, whatever they call it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a removable bridge section that's going across there, and just in case I need to get something into the basement, we have a door there. So yep, this is the second passing siding. See my workshop down there. But yeah, it goes through 3 rooms, and so if we're chilling in the wine room or the game room, it's nice just to every once in a while a train goes through. And at one point I had some automation set up. I need to get that set up again, but you would actually, one train would stop on the siding, then another one would come around, so you'd be in the same room and you see different trains go by. Yep, that's the layout. Nothing crazy.
I like it.
Andrew's got to put one of those through his old house.
I had that ideal years ago, and then I said, you know what? I think I'll just put it outside. Because as I thought about it, I went, oh, I'm going to need bigger curves to run stuff. And when you start thinking about, hanging 16-foot diameter curves around one room, it's like, okay, it's getting. And I was looking at doing a full shelf. I wasn't even thinking about hanging like Chris did, which had I thought of it at that time, I might have went through with it. But
I tried to talk Chris into letting me do it around the kitchen, family room, living room, and I got ixnayed on that.
I can't think. It was a video on YouTube I found several years ago, and the guy did the train on the wall, and it went through like every room in the house. Like it passed through the bathroom, over top the tub, and through the bedrooms. And
Nice.
I'm like, wow, okay, but I got to give him credit.
I think I'd have to draw the line there going through the bathroom.
If you run out of toilet paper, you could flat car it in. Hey, send some toilet paper.
Good night, Kyle. Sleep tight.
Kyle didn't say what time zone though.
He's on the West Coast. He's tapping out early.
No, he's East Coast. I'm guessing he's got to get up early for snow plowing things.
Yeah, he works for the town. Yes, sir. Who's this guy? On a shelf between two rooms and has six passing sightings.
Wow.
Dang.
Wow. That's ambitious. Need to send us some pictures or a video of that. Or come on the show and talk about it.
I'd prefer that.
I remember that one. It's on YouTube. Andrew just types in ceiling trains.
That probably would bring it right up. Yeah, that was one that really got me kind of started on like, maybe I could do this in my house. But you start cutting holes in the walls and it gets a little bit kind of crazy. Besides that, I never finished most of anything. So that would just look like, some failed construction project forever.
It would look like the high-speed rail in California.
I was going to say, what high-speed rail? And you'd say, exactly.
So then you got into, so obviously you started building this thing and then you got interested in designing your own trains.
Yeah.
Was it the other way around?
It's kind of a blur, actually. So I had been doing 3D printing detail parts for 8th scale trains, like your ride-on trains, 7.5-inch gauge. And there's a guy up in Canada that asked if I would be interested in making a G-scale caboose, Canadian National, or I'm not very familiar with Canadian, but it was kind of like a wide division caboose, but longer, had like stacks at each end. He asked if I would make a G-scale kit. I'm like, oh, easy peasy, right? Yeah, it was a lot of work that went into it. I had to learn. I had to get a KD coupler gauge because you wanted KD couplers on it. But no, I learned a lot doing that, and I shipped it up to him in kit form. And I'm like, you know what? That's probably one of the last commission jobs that I did for G Scale. But now I was excited to do my own stuff. That's the best part about it. With all the things that I make them for myself because I wanted that thing. And once I'm done, then I just put the files online. It's like, hey man, everyone else, go have fun with it. But yeah, commission projects, especially if they take a while, the fun kind of wears off. So that was technically the first one I did. Shortly after that, I did the flat car that's holding the wine bottle that's going around. That was also before this track, and that was just because I wanted the wine bottle on our train that went around the tree for Christmas. But the flat car that I bought off eBay was too long, so I wanted to make a shorter one, and that was that. That was the next car, and I think that was the last one before I kind of went all in and did my wagon top caboose. Yeah, so if anyone hasn't seen it, it was at the show last year. But here is the B&O, was it I-12? If I remember off the top of my head, wagon top caboose. And so this was all 100% 3D printed, except for the couplers and trucks, obviously. But yeah, this was a fun project. Ended up taking way longer than anticipated, but totally worth it. came out well. Yep. I
Yeah,
have some.
Didn't you have
yeah, go
that in
ahead.
the modeling contest?
He did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I was fortunate
Alright.
enough to win it, so that was cool. Spent the money on, or spent the, yeah, you got show credit, so I bought a couple cars with that. So that was nice. Did custom trucks on here that have the leaf springs on them.
So did you do the trucks specifically for that, or did you make them
Yes.
before that? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, all my stuff is I make it for me, and then once I'm done, I release it. So usually it's if I need it, I make it, then release it. But yeah, so that's if people know my shop on or my page on Thingiverse, they're probably familiar with all the trucks that I got on there, different side frames. So yep, just added that to the list of them.
And that's all under the 512 designs.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
On Thingiverse and Maker World. I had an account on Cults 3D for a while, but I stopped posting there. I had to pick two. I couldn't do more because every time I got to make an update or post or whatever, it's just a hassle to go to all the different sites and update that.
Understandable.
Yeah. So that caboose I modeled off of an O-scale model that my dad had. It's a chassis system as well. But I've always liked those wagon tops. They're really cool, just the way the roof curves on them. They were actually built in-house by B&O, and they were almost built in sections, kind of like if you guys are familiar with those steel buildings that are like the arch, and they kind of go up in sections, and you bolt them all together. Very similar. B&O made the caboose wagon top. They made a box car, and I think they made a hopper as well. But they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I think somebody did 3D print for the wagon top boxcar. I thought.
Yes. I think Randy Mower. I think was his name. Yeah, he did a really nice job on that. So, yeah, you can put both of them together. I haven't printed his model yet, but it is on my list.
Well, that's there was a question there, but somebody already made a wagon top boxcar.
Yes. So I will not be making a wagon top boxcar, but you can use Randy's. I can try to find the link here. I believe he was on Cults 3D.
Yeah, it's the easiest way is getting an HO or an O scale or something and measuring off of that and
Here we go.
and then scaling it up. So
Can I
most people
send you
don't
the
know
link?
that HO is exactly three times smaller than 129.
Yes, it
So
works out perfectly. I've heard different theories on why 129th was picked, but that was one of the theories I heard is something to do with.
scale.
Someone said the molds, like aristo-craft bought molds and scaled them up or something, or I don't know. I couldn't tell you what the actual answer is, but it works out great for 3D printing. So like one of the hoppers that I made, this offset hopper 2-bay, I bought a nice cheap eBay 2-bay hopper in HO scale and scaled up all the dimensions by 3. That works out great to give you your rough dimensions, and then whatever you can't get out of the HO model, find photos online. If you can find builder's drawings, that's even better because that can get you exact measurements.
Or you can
you
do
got to
what
be. What?
do what my son
yeah.
does and makes me find cars in the middle of the woods and we're out there with tape measures.
Yeah, if you can go to the actual car, that's the best one for sure. But try to take all the measurements you can think of, and then you get into your design software, and you're like, oh, I wish I would have took that measurement. Like the wagon top, we had one in nearby where we live, but it's just like I'd rather have an HO model that's in front of me that I can
Yep.
just, take the measurements off of. But yeah, you gotta be careful with the smaller models because there's some, bits and pieces that they actually enlarge just so it can be, cast or however they're, injection molded. So there's things that look okay in HO, but if you blow that up to G scale, it's, starts to look a little cartoonish. So yeah, so using that method, did the same thing where I bought a SD9 shell. I couldn't tell you what manufacturer, but it was, I think, $9 on eBay. And so that was what I use as a base to get most of my measurements to make the SD9 here.
Yeah.
Andrew's
Yeah,
going to
so-
start printing one of those soon.
Awesome.
I'd like to, but I already know where that would end up.
Yeah, it's I tried to make it as easy as I could to print. I actually made instructions, a whole assembly guide. Where the other ones I didn't. Most things were just kind of self-explanatory. If you've seen a hopper before, you kind of know where stuff goes. But there is, I think, 80 different pieces, separate pieces that go into this. And there's different modeling methods that you got to use to put them all together. So I'm like, yeah, I should probably do an assembly guide. And I think that's like 30 pages long.
I think that's what impressed me the most was that you took the time to make a whole assembly guide for it.
Yeah. I halfway through modeling it, I'm like, you know what? I should probably start taking pictures now, before it's too late in the design process, and start thinking about that going forward. It was a lot of work to do that, but at the same time, it saves me work after I release the files, just so I don't have a million people asking a million questions on how it all went together. I could just update the design guide if there's something I missed. So
you used on that, you said you used USA trucks, right?
correct, yes. SD40-2 motor blocks. And then I had to make my own side frames for it. If everyone isn't aware, these are not like this. Oh, hold on 1 second.
Don't drop it.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, so this is the USA Trains. This is the SD40-2 side frame. You can see this is like an evolution on the design of the original, what do they call them? Flexicoil.
Yeah.
Trucks. Yeah. So it's, at first, this would, you could use it and, it would kind of look all right, but I'm like, let's make the right one. It's got the 3 brake cylinders on there. And yeah, well, actually, once I put the whole thing together, these ones didn't fit. They got this big overhang off the back here. So yeah, if you use my model, you actually gotta use these. But yeah, things were tight, especially on the overhang here. You can see how close it comes. Does not hit.
I see you
But,
maintain the floppy axle.
yes. Yeah. So I wanted to keep things as USA Trains would have done it. I don't know if I could tell you why, but I almost wanted this to be like, if USA Trains did make an SD9, this is what they do it, how they do it, and it actually uses a lot of USA Trains parts. So yeah, the floppy axle is maintained. It's got a slider and spring set up just like you'd find on SD40-2. So yeah, it's had a lot of testing so far. Everything's been pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
So for the lighting and electronics inside, did you just wire your own stuff, or did you use USA boards for that?
Yep, USA boards. Obviously, that's optional if you want to do your own lighting or whatever. You can. Hard to see, but I actually have. There we go.
Well, you got the
the switches. Yeah, the switches are down there. It's very tight on the SD9.
Yeah.
But they are there. See, so it takes the main board. I got a few removable pieces. This radiator section comes off.
nice.
It's got like magnets in there. And so that is the light board for a GP9. So these marker lights are actually GP9 marker lights. The number boards are 3D printed with translucent and black PLA.
Oh,
Or actually, I might have used PETG. Yeah, everything's printed in PETG. I think the number boards I did use PETG as well.
so
Yeah,
did
a couple
you,
of things.
Did you incorporate anything for a speaker to be mounted in that, or no?
No, I don't run sound. I know a lot of people do. I've thought about redesigning the tanks. The fuel tanks right now are actually in two pieces. So if you didn't know, on the SD9, a lot of them only would have one tank, or sorry, this one tank. That would be your fuel tank. And then there was an auxiliary tank. A lot of them were used for water, I believe for steam generators if they were running passenger trains. And then some of them were converted, I believe, to additional fuel tanks. So these are actually two pieces that you can just run one if you wanted to. But I'm thinking about making one solid one. At least it still looks split, but it's solid and it actually has a speaker in the bottom. But I haven't got around to that yet. But another cool detail I loved, I actually used a piece of TPU to make a speedometer cable. That goes right down here. Yeah, it's just a piece of TPU, nothing special. Got a hole up in the frame, and then the journal has a little speedometer on it, speedometer gear, whatever you want to call it. But I was able to maintain the springs. These are sprung. I don't know if I can show that on camera.
Yeah, you can see it.
Oh,
Yeah. So just like the SD40 trucks are. So.
Now, did you make
the
railings also, or is that?
Yes. Yeah. So the railings, the metal, the rail is 3/64 inch brass, and then the stanchions are 3D printed, and they actually press in. None of these railings are actually glued in. They're able to just kind of like press fit in, and so I can take them out if I need to.
Okay.
I'm assuming that you used like PETG for the stanchions. That should have some flexibility.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, they're pretty stiff. They're actually I don't have an extra one here, but they actually go into the frame about 8 millimeters, and it's actually like a T shape, so it goes deep in there. Then they're printed sideways for more strength, and yeah, they're decently strong.
Is there an interior in it, or is it
not yet. Maybe one day. It's one of those things is I don't really need one because it's it's up on the ceiling, so I don't really see it. But I do have the cab roof on magnets.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's just open in there, so if you want to add your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yep, I did use the lift rings from USA Trains there. The front step here was USA Trains, and the coupler cut bar. And it's one of those things like, this coupler cut bar would be a pain in the butt to make, as well as everyone else who downloaded the model. They'd also have to make it. And so they were cheap. I think, I don't know, like $7 for the pair or something like that. It's like, might as well just, get the ones from USA Trains for it. And on mine, I went a little overboard, and I actually have, try to show it, diamond plate on the walkways. I don't know if it comes up on camera. That is not 3D printed. That I got, was it like JT Scenery Products or something like that? It's actually HO diamond plate, because apparently all their scales are off. If anyone's ever used that diamond plate, like I bought O scale thinking that would be good, and that was too big. So I ended up buying HO, and it was actually decent size. So I'm not sure why that is. It was a little frustrating. I saw on forums. I wasn't the only person kind of a little disgruntled about that. But so yeah, it's the SD9. it's been fun building that. I've got better pictures if I don't know if you guys wanted to see it or anyone wanted to see better than what my crappy webcam can show.
There was one question about is there a way to contact you?
Oh,
I don't know if you want to give out your email, but
if you message me through Thingiverse or through Maker World, if you're, if you have questions on the on any of my models, you're more than welcome to contact me through there.
And then there was another question about for railing stanchions.
Yeah, that's part of separate files. Yeah, that's just one of the files that are in the that are for the SD9. I think there's like 80 something STL files that I have on there. If you have a Bamboo Lab printer, that's going to be your best bet for making one. It's gonna be the easiest way to make one of these, just because with the Bamboo Lab printers, you can actually set up everything exactly how it's supposed to be printed and save that all as a file. So when someone downloads just that one, they call it a print profile, it has like every build plate lined up, everything already set with the right settings, and it's just kind of like, hit print and go. Yeah, that's the easiest way to print these. Obviously I still have all the STL files there if anyone wants to, set it up their own way, but some things can be a little deceiving when you try to print it the first time. It may not turn out how you're thinking.
Never. It always perfect right out of the box.
Yeah. I got rid of them now, but I probably had enough left over or incorrect or previous iteration SD9 parts to probably make about 3 SD9s worth. Just either it was an early design, or it was something had a mistake in it, or I forgot to model, whatever. So yeah, unfortunately, a bit of plastic got wasted in doing that, but that's prototyping.
How many hours to print the SD9 file? So I guess in total.
Oh geez, I can tell you actually. Bamboo will tell me. It's quite a bit. Okay, if I hit slice all, yeah, I have like 27 build plates. I can actually show it here if you'd like.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
So this is what it looks like in the bamboo slicer. Is it 28 plates I got? Yeah. So each one of these is a plate, and you pick, one part. Each one of these is one print. So everything's all laid out. I have all the settings in place. Even got some notes on certain things, like to use a 0.2 nozzle or a 0.4. Like these are the stanchions here. If I hit slice all, this might take a second. Oh, you know what? That's going plate by plate. That's going to take forever. It's quite a lot of hours, and that's on a bamboo printer, which is pretty fast. So
Somebody was asking which bamboo printer you're using.
all of my SD9 files were printed on a Bamboo A1, which is this printer right here. Just as I was finishing it, I got this printer, which is a H2S, which is an enclosed version and a larger build plate. But even with a larger build plate, my goal is to design everything so it can fit on something like this with like a more normal-ish size build plate, just for ease for everyone else, because not everyone has a large build volume printer. But highly recommend the A1. That thing's awesome. It's one of their entry level printers, and it kicks butt compared to what I was using. I started out on some DIY printer kit stuff. I think my earliest one was about 9 years ago, and up until recently, I still had it around hooked up. I mean, it was slow. The quality was awful. So much so that once I got these bamboo printers, a lot of my files I actually had to redesign or resize just because the tolerance was so much better on these printers. Yeah. So yeah, I highly recommend the bamboo. Not a sponsor, but it's nice for like the SD9 if someone's new to printing. Having this print file here that has everything laid out just makes things a lot easier for them.
I'm not sure if he's asking how long it took you to design it, because you just said how long it takes to print, but how many hours did you put into designing it? I guess the question is.
I don't know. a lot. I had started planning this SD9, but wanted to make the SD9 for a while. When did I start the actual design files? Late summer, I think. Started working on the frame of it. It's hard to say, just when I got some free time, here and there. Got a little 1.5-year-old, so she goes to bed, I'll come down here, get some hours in on it. But as long as I'm having fun with it, that's it's hours are hours. That's I enjoy it. If I was building it for someone else or designing it for someone else, it'd be way less fun.
Somebody's asking about your background. How did you start designing it, which you just kind of went over, and then what software did you start with?
Well, I use Autodesk Fusion. Well, it was Fusion 360. Now it's, I guess, just Fusion. I can bring that up if you guys like to see it. I can actually show you the SD9 in the software. It can help better explain it. Goes through. All right, so this is Autodesk Fusion. So this is the SD9 here. It starts with just a sketch, way back when. Down below, every one of these is a action that I did, whether that was an extrude, a chamfer, or whatever. And this is the whole timeline. Many things. But, it all starts with a sketch based off of measurements that I took off my little SD9 body here. Then kind of sketch, extrude. So if I bring the timeline back to here, so this was the very first part I designed, and this is the frame. You're actually looking at the deck of it right here, laid across on a sketch. And then from there, you just kind of do an extrude. Try to use symmetry when you can. So right here, I'm just doing a quarter right there. So as I go through the timeline here, you can just kind of start seeing it take place. I'll get to there's a coupler pocket. And the nice thing about this timeline is that I can go back kind of in time, so to speak, and make changes. And then everything from that time forward gets updated to reflect those changes.
Or it fails, and then you got to go back and fix stuff.
Yep. Oh, yeah, it'll tell you. Yeah. And
I
so if
love
I'm
getting
doing
all those red and yellow, and oh no, gee, why did I do this?
right, right. So if I hit forward in time, it takes a minute for everything to load, just because this is it has to go through a lot of steps, especially if you make a change back then. It can take up to 5 minutes on my computer just for this thing to update, just because the file's so large. But over on the left-hand side of the column, oh, you can't see it. Interesting. Huh. Okay, well, my mouse is hovering over this, but basically it's just a list of the different components, so I can turn different pieces on and off.
So the
Go in and
chassis
see.
is multiple pieces,
Correct.
and then
I got 3 frame pieces,
are they
and
glued
then
together, or?
yeah. So the 3 frames, they have this hexagonal hole. The hexagonal part is just so it prints better. It actually prints with this top bit. It prints upside down with this top bit on the print bed.
Yeah.
I use the hexagonal hole just because it makes the holes nicer, and plus it gives you a little extra room for epoxy or some other adhesives if you're using those. So I slide in. This one is designed to use 1/4-inch rods, and they
Okay.
run pretty much the whole length of the frame. So in addition to gluing, it gives it a lot of rigidity in that sense, as well as some weight if you use steel rods. But the nice thing about it is that you don't need the body on the frame to test it with, or however you want to do it. The frame is strong enough to support itself on its own. Whereas I think some I think USA trains, you almost need the body because it'll start sagging. Yeah. But, let's see if I turn the other frames off. Get the tanks out of the way. Oh, I got so many parts. Where did they go? Oh, there we go. Okay. So right here, you can see this cut out after printing bit here. The this section of the body prints vertically, and when you have, it's basically a big U shape here, and so when you're printing something that tall, that's not like, doesn't have 4 sides, these edges will start to, as it prints up, will start to, do weird things. So these are little X's that I put in that are actually got a little, they just barely touch right here. So it connects the piece together, and then when you're done, you can just take some little snippers and just snip that out. But it keeps the frame rigid as it goes. The fans, I was able to put spinning fans in there. That's it modeled right there. They're not driven or anything. They're just, you can blow on them and it spins, but you can see them through the grill up top. Yeah, I didn't put any provisions for smoke units in there. I don't run smoke. But anyone is welcome to modify the files. I have all the STL files up there, but if someone wants a step file, I have it in my description. You can message me, and I'll send you a step file. It makes it a little easier to modify these files. If anyone's ever worked with a step file before, it's no fun.
What's the?
I'm sorry. If anyone's worked with an STL file, it's no fun. But a step file
makes it easier.
Makes it easier. Yeah.
What made you decide to do the SD9 out of all engines?
Combination of, it's one of my favorite diesels. Actually, growing up, I had an N scale SD9, well, SD7 technically. That was in chassis system, and so always loved that engine. It's one of my favorites. Then the combination of no one made one in G scale, so it's like, can feel a little niche there. So yeah, and I wasn't the only one. A lot of SD9 fans, as well as someone else making an SD9 in G scale simultaneously. If anyone has followed on Facebook, Roger Nicholson has been making his he's finished now, but it's he did a West Coast SD9 Southern Pacific that had the whole entourage of headlights that Southern Pacific liked to put on theirs. The different railroads had different SD9s, a lot of different details. I tried to make mine more like the East Coast, kind of generic. You know, different ways to design it. You know, you can see, you look up pictures of different SD9s from different railroads, and you're like, wait, that's shaped like that, but I thought it was shaped like that. And you go back to the other photo, and like, oh, okay, so you know, like different lengths on like the steps or something, or you know, different ladders. You know, sometimes they'd have just one ladder or no ladders on the front. So, you know, there's all different kinds of ways you can design them. But so
A lot of people don't realize that the manufacturers usually pick one model that, and then just put
Mhm.
paint schemes on it, and you know, and that's what you get.
right. Yeah, that's how it was for a long time. You know, unless you're talking about the HO world where you can get anything and everything in HO.
Pretty much.
I'm pretty jealous of them. But yeah. So
Somebody was asking about what isn't Fusion free?
yes.
Yeah.
If you're a hobbyist,
Okay.
Yeah.
there's certain features that are locked out unless you get a commercial license. But for 99% of what you would use it for train stuff, 3D printing, the free version works just fine. You've got some limitations, like you can only have 10 models like in your work desk at a time. But that's not really an issue. You just save them and then, you know, file them away. Then you can bring them back if you need it. Now, Fusion's been pretty good. I don't really have too many complaints.
It's like even some of them had, you know, the steps like that, and then other ones had plows on them.
Oh yeah,
Some had plows
Yep.
on each end. Some had big plow and small plow. It's all
right. Even B&O, you know, different B&O engines had different things on them. You know, like some had this kind of pilot on the front, and some had like the rock plows that Chassis System did. Yeah, all kinds of weird things that were different. But, yeah, these were hard to model. These little latches, hard to model, as in hard to model in a way that would come out and, you know, print well. I must have had, you know, probably a dozen different test prints on printing this in a way that came out well with a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. You know, that still kind of kept its detail, but without being, you know, it still looked right. Because, you know, you see like this, how it sticks out right here. In actuality, you know, the real things are basically flush. But if you made it flush, you know, it would kind of blend in with the rest of the model, you know, when it prints. So a lot of trial and error. I was able to slice out little pieces and just print the little slice instead of printing out, you know, the whole frame section. So, fun fact for SD9 people, all these little doors on the frame rail, the ones that have the louvers, are only on one side of the engine. They're not on the other side. And that's not something I didn't realize until I start, you know, going through photos and like, wait, why does this one not have louvers and this one does have louvers? But yeah, fun fact. And this is like one of the only EMD engines to have a handbrake that's like in its own little nook. You know, some other engines had them up front on the nose or like, you know, on the back nose here, but this one had its like own little cubby hole. And it's very hard to find a photo of this model. You know, the little HO model, you know, barely shows any detail. So I'm trying to find some detail on this little handbrake. So that took a while.
Are there any SD9s still running around that you know of?
Oh yeah. No, there's I don't know, at least a couple dozen. I think they're still going around. There's a few in Southern Pacific that I believe they're still going. The Fort Wayne Historical Society that runs the 765 Berkshire, they restored a nickel plate road SD9 a few years back. Number 358, I think, if I can remember off the top of my head. Yeah, they did a really nice job with that. That was cool. So I think that's the latest rebuild SD9 out there. But yeah, there's still a few in actual freight service as well.
Here's a question for you.
Plows or nose light panels. I don't plan to. There's all different kinds out there. You guys are more than welcome to modify files. I've had a few people already ask for some step files so that they could make an SD10, which was a Milwaukee Road special where it's basically a low nose of an SD9. It's funny, someone makes a low nose, everyone wants a high nose. Someone makes a high nose, everyone wants a low nose. Got to have all the combinations.
Whatever you don't make, that's what they want.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I make this stuff for me. I'll make some things to accommodate others, like for the speaker, I think I'll do that. But, as far as my SD9, it's done, it's built. I had planned to make another, but I'm not even sure if I'm going to do that for another few years. Towards the end of modeling or doing the detail work, not in the digital space, but actually, putting it together, painting it, and everything. Really starting to get burned out at the very end, to where I'm like, I just want this thing done. But I think I'll take a break from that for a while. Got a couple other projects in the burner right now, or on the fire, however you want to say it. Yep, that's actually my paint booth right there. That folds out of the wall. There was like some kind of ventilation thing here before when we bought the house, and it never got used. So I actually took that out and used the vent shaft. So it just kind of folds down and makes a little impromptu paint booth. And if anyone hasn't used airbrushes to paint G-Scale, I highly recommend it. It's so much better than a rattle can.
Better control, finer mist.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to. You watch a couple of YouTube videos, but it's just way easier.
Now,
I got some photos.
Did you use just decals, or did you do like a vinyl mask and paint it on?
That I used decals for the EMD logo on it, but everything else was a vinyl mask.
Nice.
Photos up.
There's one question that you're running track power, correct?
Yes. Yep. Just simple DC. Don't know why that photo is small, but that is the chassis system vinyl. Then everything else is taped off. So I have a vinyl cutter. It's like a Silhouette. I think you can either use a Cricut or Silhouette. Great little tools. I hate their software, but I love being able to cut my own vinyls there. Using the, what do they call it? They have permanent vinyl and then removable vinyl.
Yeah, it's masking.
So you want the removable, yeah. So you want that for doing the masks.
Why, you don't want to peel all the paint off that you just put on with it?
Yeah, luckily I thought twice before making that mistake. But yeah, it's so nice to be able to actually paint on your vinyls or paint on your decals rather than using the water slides. I like the water slides for the small little things. Obviously like tiny lettering, this car track barcodes, stuff like that. But
it's nice to not have to try and hide the decal.
Right. And using the vinyl mask, you can use a hair dryer and get it warm and press down with like a toothpick all over the different edges. Especially on the SD9, it's got these louvers right where the lettering goes there. So, yeah, this was I learned always go light to dark on these paints. Like if you got to do the yellow first, because that yellow will take 100 coats to cover the blue. So you definitely do the lighter colors first. It was kind of a pain with this orange stripe because if you notice the ear on the Chessie Cat actually goes up into the axis of the stripe. So that was, normally I'd do the yellow, then the orange, then the blue. But because of that, I had to do the blue after the yellow, then carefully mask off again, just so I cover that ear. Carefully mask off the blue that I just painted, and then do the yellow stripe. I had to do that in 3 parts because there's one on each side and then one on the nose. And yeah, I did long hood forward, all the B&O SD9s. B&O ordered them as long hood forward units. It just looks so much cooler too. But yep, I think they ordered, a dozen SD7s and like a dozen or so SD9s. I picked this number 1834 because this was the one that I referenced this one's photo the most because it's just a really nice, big, detailed photo, actually from the same perspective here. So like, you know what? I looked at that one the most. I'll pick this number. So
I have another picture of the Winchester and Western that Kenny shared. If you want to see that,
sure.
Whenever you're done. But
oh yeah, yeah. I think just 1 or 2 more pictures. These are the brake hoses that I actually made out of TPU. Which, if anyone doesn't know, that's a flexible filament, printed flat, and they just kind of wedge up in here. And then you take a little lighter and just kind of get them hot, and then just kind of bend them a little bit so they got a nice kind of arc to them. Paint the end silver, and you're good to go.
what is that?
Oops.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What is that tubing on the top there for?
This, I don't actually know. I don't know if has to do with the radiators because it is right above the radiators. All I know is all the SD9s pretty much had them. And so it starts here, snakes all the way through back to here. Yeah. Yeah, couldn't tell you exactly why, but that is a separate piece that just gets glued on top once you're ready. The fans are separate units. There's actually quite a lot of pieces that go to just this whole radiator section that's removable. But the nice thing about the chassis system paint scheme is I could paint this whole thing separately blue without having to mask off really anything. So
I like how you made that whole piece removable too.
yeah, I figured you got to have a removable piece just by working on the few G-scale engines that I have. It's a pain to take off the body. But one thing I did make a possibility is that you can remove the trucks without taking the body off, and you can also remove the body without taking the trucks off. That's one thing that was a pain on any locomotive that I worked on so far. So like if you take off the radiator section, you can actually look at the top of the screw that holds on the truck. And same thing in the cab. There's a hole in the bottom of the floor of the cab, so you can remove the truck that way as well.
Somebody
yeah,
asked, obviously, sure. Did you make the fans? That's part of that hole. Yep. Yeah,
there's a lot you can do with a 0.2 millimeter nozzle in FDM printing. Nothing on here was resin printed. Even though I have resin printers, I wanted to see what I could do with FDM.
Here's that other one, if you want to see it there. So Winchester,
nice.
Western.
Cool. Love the chevrons on the front.
Yeah, so every railroad had different things that they had or needed or had to have or. But so Kenny sent that to me. I figured I'd share it.
Yeah.
So when they bend the railings, how do they know how to bend the railings? You give something
yes.
with that too?
Yeah, I've got some photos of it. I have made grab iron jigs. Actually, I've got one right here. So this one's actually 2 pieces. Ignore the pentagon shape. That's just kind of what I did to fit 5 of them on here. This one actually isn't. This one's for my hopper, but it's kind of the same principle. These make like your normal grab irons that are just kind of like, U shape. Do I have a piece of brass? No, I don't. But I've got some photos showing it. But basically, you'll stick one end in here, bend it over, put this cap on, and then it sticks out the hole here. Then you bend it down again, flip it over, cut it flush, and you can pop it out and pop out your grab iron. You might have to tweak it a little more with some pliers, but that's kind of the limit of the using plastic. This rod just kind of you're not going to get the 90-degree angle every time, but it makes it easy, especially when you're doing crazy ones. Like that's just simple, like regular, I don't know what you call it, regular grab irons. But when you're making like the ones that go on the SD9, start getting all these weird shapes. So it comes here, goes down, around, down here, and these ones actually labeled just so you can know which ones go where.
Sorry about that.
lots of weird grab irons on the SD9. There's actually even a T junction on one where I've got a little tiny coupler that couples them together. But, yeah, different shapes. I can't tell you why one's shaped. I just kind of like think, okay, lay it down this way, and then just kind of design, the jig around it. Sometimes I'll actually model out the whole grab iron. Other times I'll just model out, just the pattern, knowing which way it has to be bent. They're not perfect. It's tedious, but the nice thing is that, when you use them, they should all relatively be the same shape. You're not going to get one that's a little too long here, a little too long there. As long as you probably have to tweak it a little more, but as long as you can like lay it flat in this thing,
get the general shape.
it's gonna. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got some photos that show it better. Share that.
There you go.
Yeah. So this is zoomed in. So yeah, you'll start by taking the brass rod, put it in there, bend it down, put the lid on, bend it again, then cut flush, and then you got a grab iron. Yeah, like I said, you'll have to bend it a little more, just tweak it, but as long as you can get it to lay, flat in the shape, then it's right. So yeah, that was these ones were the ones to make the front pilot grab irons. This was just some chain that I got off Amazon. I wanted to solder it on. It wouldn't solder for some reason. So what I ended up doing, I used some super glue gel, and had a dab of that, and dipped it in the dab, and then just carefully put it on the end of that brass rod, and then sprayed some zip kicker accelerant. Works. But yeah, these stanchions, you can see the bit sticking out. Yep. So this is actually what presses into the frame. So these are printed on their side for strength. So if you push on them, they shouldn't crack at this joint in theory. Here's one that's got the little T joint. Most EMDs I don't think had this. I think these were like all one piece, but the SD9s had this connector here. So yeah, when I assembled,
just weld it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, when I assembled the railings, I just kind of put all the stanchions in place and slid the brass rod through, and Kind of got it in place best I could, and then just kind of super glued the joints all up here. But I didn't glue in these parts here as well as the stanchions, so that I could pull everything back out and paint it separately without having to mask off everything, because on the chassis one they're all orange. And B, if I need to remove them in the future, as long as they like, they set in, you shouldn't have to glue them. Kind of like USA trains, when you get those railings. I don't know if you're supposed to glue them in. I bought the GP30 I bought new, and I had a fun time, putting all those in together. I didn't know what to glue or what just kind of sits in place. But
some of them, you put them in the first time, they go in nice and easy. And I mean, I've had other engines that, I cannot get the damn thing in the hole. I'm in there, tapping with a nice little hammer and just trying to get the damn thing in. It's hit or miss.
Yeah. First time doing stanchions like this, and I think they turned out pretty well. I've done grab irons for my other cars. But wasn't sure how I'd make a stanchion. Initially, I thought of using brass to make the vertical stanchion. But everything I found, like, using like a mini U-channel piece of brass, it was just so expensive, especially for how many people would need. And I was thinking, solder them all together. But with a 0.2 millimeter nozzle, I was able to make, a stanchion that was, should be strong, as well as, still looking pretty scale.
Yeah, it's always the tough part, is trying to keep it small enough that it still looks good. I mean, some stuff you have to scale up, otherwise it just blows away.
Right.
You
got to make
look
that
at
decision.
it wrong and it breaks.
Mm-hmm.
I always love that. I touch one of my trains and then I got like 3 parts in my hands. I'm like, great. I think one of the biggest one is sunshades. Those always break off.
Oh yeah. I've glued the shades on my SD9, and I want to say they'll stay there, but I'm afraid to touch them.
Yeah.
If the SD9 ever derails and falls off the track, it's gonna be a minute before I make another one. I don't want to think about that.
I had one of my Malays take a tumble from about almost 2 feet up onto mulch, luckily, but
okay.
But yeah, only one part broke, one of the marker lights.
Wow, hats off to aristo-craft.
Yeah, it was a pretty good tumble. I mean, it just went right over, and it actually fell between the elevated part and my house, so it went down against bricks.
Oh my goodness!
But,
yikes!
Yeah,
what did it hit a stick or something? Or
no, it was my own fault. The Malays are known that when you go in reverse, the coupler bar is on a pin, and when you're going in reverse, it pushes and then it pops up. So it pushed, it popped up into the tender, which derailed the tender, and then the engine was trying to push it. The tender got derailed and like hung up, and the engine just rolled over.
Okay, I take back my statement about aristo-craft. They caused the derailment.
No, the funny thing is, I got a little collar from like RC airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
They send those little chrome collars with a set screw in it. So I had it. I just didn't. I took it out of the box and didn't put it on. I was like, I'll get it next time. I'll put it on next time. Yep, next time. And I learned a lesson. Now it's on.
Good to know.
Oh,
if ever get a Malay.
All of the parts instructions are in the PDF. What? All the parts instructions are in the PDF.
Maybe printing instructions. I've got some general guidelines on printing each of the pieces in the PDF instructions. Obviously, I can't. Part of my instructions say, like, even if you don't have a bamboo printer, download the bamboo slicer just so you can open up my print profile. so that you can see how all the pieces are laid out. It's just the easiest way instead of going, having 30 pictures of print plates in my instructions showing how each one's going to be oriented. Do that all the time. On the bamboo printers, yeah, the 0.2 rocks. I don't do anything to it. It's pretty trouble free. I did very little sanding on this model. Very little filler work. Just some spots here and there. Obviously, where you glue the pieces together, you're going to have some gaps there. I just use Bondo spot filler or spot glazing putty. It's basically Bondo that you don't have to mix, which is great. Just squirt a little bit and use a toothpick and just kind of put it in the gaps.
Tamaya has one too that it hardens. You put it in, it hardens, and you can sand it smooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard of it. Have not used it yet. A small little tube of the Bondo stuff. Like, it's lasted me a few years, and it barely even got touched. So.
Well, we do a lot of different models between Vinny and I, so we go through tubes of it.
Oh, nice.
Somebody said they had a 10-wheeler steam fall 8 feet to its death off an elevated.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah.
My one of my friends was working on his layout, and he had a section that was about 6 feet tall that came around, and it was right over his concrete patio. So he was having connectivity issues. So he was playing with jumpers, trying to figure out where his continuity was from. So he figured it out, and he got out his brand new SD45. This is when SD45s first came out. Came around, forgot that he had the jumpers on it. Ooh. And the train hit the jumpers right off of that, right down to the concrete.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was he just picked it up and brought it inside, and that was that's what do you do? I mean, you just
it's like the dad in Christmas Story with the lamp.
yeah, pretty much. That's what he said. He's like, I just picked it up.
Yeah. Fragile.
That was it. Put it away.
Yeah.
So real
yeah,
quick,
every once in a while I worry about this, but
are we ready for a giveaway for the evening?
Sure.
Okay.
Give it away now.
What's that?
I said, give it away now.
Now it's playing in my head. Thank you. So tonight we will give away two-day passes to the Expo, May 15th and 16th, here in Girard, Ohio. So if you would like to enter the giveaway for that,
I'm entering.
All you have to do is do hashtag GLLSTE for Great Lakes Large Scale Train Expo in the chat.
You get to hang out with Andrew and I.
Yeah.
And Chris Murray, he'll be there. Right, Chris?
Yep. Yeah, my dad's going to be there as well with the Northeastern Ohio live steamers. They're going to bring some 7.5-inch gauge equipment. He brought the F7 last year.
Yeah.
It's you got the wrong hashtag there, Bill.
We're also going to bring the Mighty Casey. If anyone knows about the 1970 toy, my daughter's a big fan.
Hey, I found you another
gave it to
one.
her for Christmas. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, there's a guy in Florida selling a whole custom set right now.
Wow.
He made his own B unit, just like people make B unit E8s in aristo-craft.
Yeah.
Took two of them. But yeah, they're all painted silver, and he's got a whole train with them. Yeah, figured that's large scale. We'll have a little loop set up.
I should mention if whoever wins has already bought tickets, then we'll just refund back your purchase price on them. Unless you want to use the 2 free tickets for 2 more people to come with you. That's what
Yeah.
I recommend. The more the merrier. But we'll let that run for a little bit.
Okay.
So,
Any next plans on the next model there, Chris?
Yes. So this model I've actually started with the trucks first, then the car, because I think the car is a little boring compared to what the trucks are. And I don't know if people have made functioning ones in G-Scale yet, but I have been working on fully sprung and articulated Buckeye trucks.
ooh.
They've got bearings, ball bearings in them. They are, here we got a little sample track here.
Are
Just so I
they
can show.
USA wheels?
No, these are Roll Easy. I've been using their wheels for all my projects. So if I lift, you can see if I lift up the center, there is some give there, as well as the ends. You know, I've got a picture and video that shows up a lot better than what my webcam can do. Yeah, let me share that. There we go. That looks a lot better. So the 2 pivot points left and right of the middle axle there are M2 screws, so 2 millimeter diameter. So if anyone isn't familiar with the Buckeye truck, it's a fully equalizing 6-wheel truck. In G scale, if you're HO can get away with it, but in G scale, if you're making a 6-wheel truck, you kind of need some give there, some flex, or else you're going to have some derailments. This one I designed the exact same way as the actual Buckeye trucks are designed, and I was very surprised how well it actually equalizes. I've got a video here. This is early prototype, but just pushing. I'm barely putting any weight on the bolster here, and it just shows it. Just going over this file here, it just flexes like crazy. Just equalizes. So very happy with how that turned out. The springs these ones are 5 millimeter diameter springs. I bought a whole spring kit just to see which springs would fit the best, look the best, and function the best. And I landed on these ones that have kind of the right diameter of an actual Buckeye truck. And luckily there's a few sellers that are selling the exact size just by itself. So you can buy like 20 pack or whatever pack. So you don't have to buy the whole kit or the whole assortment there. So I have a couple cars that I want to design for this truck. The first one being a depressed center flat car. That one I have already started the design work on, and hoping to have that one done before the large scale show. Is it May? Sorry, I know you just had it on there. May? Okay. So yeah, I'll have them there. I also plan to make different versions of the Buckeye truck. At least 2 other versions. The 2 other versions would be roller bearing. But one is going to have just the round Timken caps. They're still roller bearing, but they're not like the latest ones that have the rotating caps. And then I plan to make the one with the rotating caps for it.
Those are cool.
Yeah, it's been having a lot of fun designing this one. It's as I was finishing the SD9, it's like all I can think about is designing these trucks because that's like the new hot thing in my mind. Where I've been working on the SD9 for months, and you know, even though it was for me, it's like the fun's starting to wear off. You know, it's
Yeah.
like the sixth night in a row in the paint booth. You know, painting lines and stuff on. I'm like, oh, I want to get working on these trucks. So
Did you
yeah.
did you get like a scale drawing for these, or are you going off of something else? Or
There's very few drawings, unfortunately, and actually a lot of good pictures are hard to come by, especially from this view here. I did find one good picture it's actually from one of those molten steel cars. I don't know the proper name for them, but that's one of the cars I do want to make after this flat car. But it basically has a picture from the side just like this. Someone thankfully took a picture, and knowing the size of the wheel in an image, you can actually get quite a few other measurements, by using the height. If you take your calipers to your computer screen, and you measure the height of the wheel, know that's 33 inches, then you do your math, then any other measurement you take on your screen, as long as you do the right math, can get you pretty close to what you need. I did at first buy some HO little Buckeye trucks. These ones were resin printed. I can't remember where I got them from on eBay. I believe they still sell them, but unfortunately they at this size I couldn't really get a whole lot of good measurements off of. But I did buy an N scale. I know I'm going smaller, but N scale drop center. Two things: I couldn't really find an HO1 that I liked that I wanted to model off of. I could find it in N scale, so I was able to get some good measurements off of here as far as like kind of overall length and width. But I still do N scale, so this one at least I can use. Whereas these HO ones I'll probably give to some buddies.
People are liking that.
Cool. Yeah, you guys will see it at the show. If I get the car done, I'll have it in the modeling contest, and maybe I'll have the roller bearing truck there too. Maybe I'll have that as a load on the flat car.
That's if somebody ever gets the modeling contest up.
Yeah.
So people could enter it. No, I don't know.
As far as me never finishing anything, if I actually get the registration, doesn't that count as finishing something?
No, because you got to do everything.
Yeah. Add this picture in here. Yeah, this is just the 1834. That was the one I modeled off of. But it's hard to find some nice, clean, high-resolution pictures of chassis system SD9s. So, yep, that's where most of my modeling came from. This guy here. Long been scrapped. I think there's one B&O SD9 that's still out there. I think it's on some kind of short line or tourist line out west. It's like in Burlington Northern colors now. So, yep, that's my current projects going on. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a locomotive anytime soon. Again, I think I'm going to take a break from that.
Somebody wanted to ask how did you print the number board inserts?
Oh, I do have photo. Dang it! Shouldn't have stopped sharing. I do have photos of that.
How did you print the number board? Echo.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on here?
Okay, so this is the number board. Do I not have the other side? Okay, I don't have the other side available, but the bulk of this object is clear or translucent PETG, which if anyone's ever worked with it, clear doesn't actually mean clear. It really is just translucent. It'll let light through. but just the front surface of this is black PETG, like just like 1 or 2 layers. So when I made the numbers, I made it in Fusion. And my trick was, when I got the numbers in place, I did a cut where I cut them down just like a hair, like a 0.01 millimeter. Not enough for a printer to tell the difference, but it was enough that you could see it in the design software as well as the printing slicer, so that I could assign colors to it. So in Bamboo, with these Bamboo printers, you can do multicolor. So I made the whole object translucent, and then just on the surface, I picked everything that wasn't the number to make it black, and then I printed it face down on a smooth build plate. So that's with a 0.2 millimeter nozzle, and so that gave me the best resolution on these numbers. And they turned out pretty good. I've got a picture of it lit. There we go.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it turned out really good. Yeah, I thought about doing a vinyl mask, but I'm like, you know what? Let's see if I can do it all in plastic. So
Yeah, that's the way I do them. You know, usually a piece of acrylic and then do a vinyl mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually was able to get the right font for this. This is EMD font, believe it or not. I think I found it. I think the B&O Historical Society or the B&O Museum, the one that's based in out of Maryland.
Yeah.
Or no, is it Maryland?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
in
anyways,
Baltimore.
yes, Baltimore. Duh. Yeah, Baltimore. That makes sense. Yeah, so they have a lot of free things on their website, one of them being this font that you can download, so I was able to get the right numbers. But not all Chessie SD9s use the font. It's you know, you find all these different pictures and they're using different fonts and stuff, but this was, I guess, the basic EMD number board. So I guess they were individual letter or numbers that you'd put up there. And like how the 1 has a big gap between the 8, I guess that's prototypical because the 1 was offset. Yeah, but that turned out pretty well. I hope that answers your question, Donna. Oh, I think you've or seen you on Facebook printing one. But yeah, yeah, Donnell, feel free to message me if you got any more questions on it.
There's somebody else was asking where your stuff's posted again.
Maker World and Thingiverse. I also have Cults, but I'm not using Cults anymore. So all the current stuff is Maker World and Thingiverse.
I was trying to find your link here.
Let's see.
Any pointers on the
Issues with the
0.2
0.2.
nozzle?
I feel bad because I have not had issues with the 0.2. It's awesome. I guess it depends on your issue. Sometimes you can have issues with it sticking to the build plate, especially if you're printing on a smooth build plate, which I did for pretty much all of the parts. You can print on a textured plate, just you're going to have that texture on the bottom. But for the smooth plate, I've been using this stuff called nanopolymer. It's made by Vision Miner. It's liquid, and it's basically, if anyone's ever used glue stick before, it's basically liquid glue stick. And the nice thing is that you can brush this on real thin, and then it kind of evaporates, or the whatever the solution is evaporates, but it leaves the sticky layer. It lasts a long time, and you really, if you do it right, you don't see any imprints on your parts when you take them off. Like if you're using a glue stick, you know, it kind of builds up heavy in some spots, and when you take off your part, you know, you'll have glue stuck to it. You got to wash it off, but you'll still kind of see like a ripple. This stuff works on a smooth build plate to keep it stuck down when you start printing.
You want to hear something funny? I use hairspray.
Yeah, hairspray works.
I do as well. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about the hairspray is that you spray it and the sticky dust kind of gets in the air. If you're working in a garage, it doesn't matter, but down here, it's
what I do with the
hard to clean.
hairspray is I usually have like a piece of cardboard I got bent up that I kind of put behind the bed, so when I'm spraying it kind of oversprays onto that to keep it a little bit cleaned up at least.
That works. Yeah, and that doesn't build up like glue stick does. So yeah,
It works pretty good. Do you want to do we got 9 minutes left here in the show.
Absolutely.
Do we want to do the old drawing?
For the two-day passes to the expo.
Two-day passes.
Two. Is there an echo?
Echo.
Yeah, all right. Let's see here. Share the right screen. Get rid of that one. We'll share a new one.
It's been great having the train run by.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
All right. Let's see here. Put it on the screen, and we will see who our lucky winner is going to be tonight.
It's going to be me.
It's going to be you're going to get free admission to the expo. I'm going to charge you double. All right. Let's see who our winner is going to be. And it is trying to think who that is. Any idea?
I have no good idea.
Well, I would say at Manot-G, send an email over to us.
That's what we need. People get inspired to do other engines, other things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I looked through the old model garden railways and stuff, and there were so many smaller companies that sold this little piece and that little piece, and they're all gone. So we need more available.
So our winner tonight for the two-day passes, just send us an email at info@largescaletrains.com, and we'll get you taken care of.
And I own hairspray for my 3D printers. That's why I own hairspray.
My wife yelled at me for using all of her like 3x extra hold hairspray on my 3D printer. Where's my hairspray at? It might be in my room.
I always go in and buy it, and then they always look at me like they pick up the hairspray to whoever's ringing out, like looks up at the hairspray and then looks up at me. For my beard. So anything else we need to, we got 6 minutes left.
6 minutes.
Want to see my large scale?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's see it. Get everybody excited right before we go off the air.
All right.
What scale is it?
Let's see. It's 4 feet 8.5 inches. It would be 1-to-1 scale.
Oh, good. Cool.
Let's see. Share my screen. All right. So this is our newest addition in the yard.
Ooh.
It's a little beat up, but it's structurally sound.
It's got good bones.
It's got good bones.
I just got tetanus looking at it though.
Yeah, so this is a B&O caboose, still wearing its chassis system paint. It's original paint. This one was one of the later cabooses. Well, one of the last orders that B&O placed. And if people aren't familiar with chassis system, chassis system wasn't really it was a railroad that was kind of partners with other railroads. So B&O, C&O, Western Maryland, technically Seaboard. That's, I don't know enough about that, but anyways, this was B&O. They ordered it while in chassis system, and so it only ever wore this chassis system paint. But it is a C27 caboose, number 3982. This side here, yeah, it doesn't have a whole lot of the paint left, but the plan is to restore it back to its day one condition, and eventually turn it into a future guest house. Got a whole plan for the inside. Got a whole room layout thing I've been working on, floor plan creator. But yeah, first goal this year is to. How long did it take to print? It took a while. You should see the printer.
I was going to say, if I stay in your guest house caboose, I'll have to come by myself because the wife said never again after I took her to the Red Caboose Motel there in Strasbourg. She wasn't a fan.
Oh, man. A little cramped.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
We went there with the kids, too.
I thought it was awesome, but
Yeah, so the goal this year is to get at least this side that's facing the neighbors painted, get it sandblasted and painted. I've got some body work to do on the other side. Got some windows to replace. But it's rough, but also, if we wanted a caboose that was already, in good shape, we couldn't afford it. So we were fortunate to be friends with a guy that moves railroad equipment for a living. So he was able to give us a really good deal. In turn, we had to help him. We were the labor for all of it. So, we were down there in Pittsburgh where we picked it up, did all the stuff to load it onto his trailer, and do all the stuff to load it onto our track here. He built the track panel for us and did everything, basically every part of it, he was involved in. So it was, this project's been about 2 years in the making, and just got delivered about a month ago. So I'm excited to get working on it once the weather clears up. Had all kinds of fun.
nice. Ooh, I like the shot with the sun over top.
Yeah. I came home the other day in the morning, like, oh, good photo opportunity. So this is inside one of the lights. One of the lights is missing, but I was actually able to find this lens. Believe it or not, is pretty common. They use them on like fire trucks and stuff, like old fire trucks, and so you can get new lenses all day long. The housing little bit tricky, but I did find one on eBay. So now I'll have 2 lights, one at each end. Yeah, there's the most original paint underneath there. We moved this here in 0-degree weather. We had to make sure the yard was frozen, so it was thoroughly frozen for when we moved it in. But yeah, it's my daughter there. Had all kinds of fun. I'm going backwards in time here through the album, so that's the order of things here. But yeah, had a whole lot of time, whole lot of fun. I wasn't cold at all. I was excited. But I owe everyone that helped us, a steak dinner or something when it gets warmer. I'd say a free night in the caboose, but that's going to be a few years. Unless they bring a sleeping bag and a heater. I don't know.
We're getting snow right now. It's snowing here.
Oh, yeah. It just started. So, yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm jealous.
That's
I want
my train hobby.
I want a caboose.
Yeah, they're out there. There's a few. CSX is getting rid of the last of these. They kept them around for a while to use them as shoving platforms. Just basically a place for a worker to stand on, while they're doing switching operations. But they only need a handful, and this one has actually been sitting on a deadline for, I don't know, the past decade or so. Yeah, it had been a little vandalized, but the rust kind of took care of any of the graffiti that was on it.
Very nice.
So if anyone wants to do some sandblasting this summer, let me know. I have an experience for you.
Andrew will be right over.
I'll put it on my list. Uh, so
Alrighty,
we're-
well, we're right at the 9 o'clock hour there.
all right, wonderful.
Cool.
Went by
Well,
quick, didn't it?
guys, yeah, thank you for having me on. It's been fun.
Thanks for coming on. I think everybody enjoyed what you had to show them. So
Cool.
you're welcome anytime.
There was one question about spray painting couplers.
Spray painting couplers.
Yeah. Oh.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, we spray painted the box, not the couplers themselves, but I mean, people weathered them, so shouldn't be, as long as you don't paint too heavy, shouldn't be an issue.
mm-hmm.
Nice light, just enough to get it coated.
Yeah, I mean, the paint will wear off a little bit. That's why I've never painted the coupler itself. But I mean, if you're just trying to make it more visible.
Yeah, and after you paint, like what I would do is like paint it, let it dry a little bit, and then break it. Make sure that you're, moving it so there's no paint drying in there, and then do another light coat. Or if you're really energetic, take it apart. But sorry, I just wanted to grab that last question there.
Yeah. If there's any more,
Wonderful.
good. But yeah, like I said, anyone's welcome to reach out. If anyone is on the Facebook G Scale pages, you can shoot me a message there too. Or if you just got some questions on the 3D print models, just reach out to me on through Thingiverse or Maker World. And yeah, always here, always glad to help.
I can answer.
Want to see more SD9s out there?
That one. A little bit of heat. Warm it up. It helps loosen up the adhesive, and then you could peel it off. That's the easiest way. A little bit of heat.
Actually, I got a question while I have a bunch of people with experience here.
Oh,
I've seen it done in the past, but if you're repainting a factory model, I've seen people dip a shell in isopropyl alcohol.
Yep.
What all has to come off before you dip? Do you need to take out windows?
Yes.
Okay, that'll ruin the windows. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys typically take out the grab irons? Or you just kind of let that go too?
Depends. I mean, sometimes I just take them out because it's easier.
Okay.
It's easier to take them out, but you can leave those in. That's not a huge deal.
Okay.
I've left them in. I've taken them out either way. But if you have any questions, we're friends on Facebook now. You can shoot me questions.
Absolutely.
We've done tons of that. Or you could use one of those. I used them the other night on the show, and I showed like if you're just removing like if you had a solid color engine and you don't want to take the whole thing apart so like a Pennsylvania is already green, but all it has is Pennsylvania, you could get those fiberglass pencils, and you really lightly go over the lettering, and the lettering will come right off. And then you don't have to just what? Yeah, fiberglass pencil.
yeah, I finally bought some of those, and those actually work really well, Nico.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've heard of those.
Yeah, if you go on Amazon and look, just search fiberglass, like Nico said. The ones I got, you turn the top and it kind of pushes out. Like,
Yeah,
not sure how much is in there, but
they feed through, and it has a little fiberglass cartridge in it, like little whiskers, and you just rub on things, and it's
just abrasive.
Off. Yeah, but you could use it. I use it to clean the tracks. Like before I put on a rail clamp, I clean the track with that. I use them all over the place. They're a great tool to have.
Okay, yeah, I'll look into that.
Yep.
Cool.
And Chris's last name is Murray. There was a question.
Oh, yep. There is another Chris Murray in the G Scale community on Facebook. So I found that. What's the odds? Two Chris Murrays and they're both into G Scale. So I don't know, just search my name in the post and whatever Chris Murray's attached to the SD9 photos, and that one's me.
wonderful.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, thanks again, guys.
And
There you go.
how do I receive the tickets again? So real quick, you'll want to send an email to info@largescaletrains.com. And we'll get you taken care of.
All right. Well, have a good night, everyone. Thanks again, Chris. And
Yeah, we'll see you at the show.
Everybody next month, and then in May.
Mm-hmm.
Be here before you know it.
Yep.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Go on.